Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. We're going to find a comfortable seated position to start. For me, that's cross-legged. For you, it can be bent legs or straight legs, whatever feels good for you today. We're going to start with our breath. Can you bring both hands onto your ribs? I want your middle fingers to tap and touch, and then close down through your eyes. We're going to start by taking deep breaths in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. As you breathe in through your nose, can you start to feel your ribs expand? Those fingers start to glide away from each other. On the exhale, your ribs draw together, which brings those fingertips back to top. So just tuning into that movement on the ribs. Using your hands there, just to guide your breath. Let's go for 2 more breaths like this. In through your nose. Ribs expand, fingers separate. Exhale through your mouth. Ribs draw together, fingers draw together. Final one, in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Gently start blinking, open your eyes. Circle your arms out, around and up. Interlace your hands at the top. We reach up and we reach over to one side. Open through your ribs, open through your side body. We slowly come back to center, reach up and over towards the opposite side. Coming back to center, looking up towards those fingertips, and then circle those arms out, around and down. Shoulders roll back, shoulders roll forward. Hands come all the way back behind you. Good to kind of step back with those hands, and your feet are going to come in front of you. So keep those feet wide. Can you knock your knees over towards the left? And then your eye gaze is going to peer over that right shoulder. So we're opening up through your hips, we're opening up through your chest. We come back to center and we go over to the opposite side. So knees knock to the right, eye gaze peers over towards the left. Really nice way to open up through those hips, to find an expansion and opening through your chest. Let's even ourselves off, knees to the right, eye gaze comes over to the left, and slowly come back to center. Okay, we're going to slowly come into a side lying position on your right hand side. So your right hand is going to be really nice and long. You're going to be relaxed on that hand. Your knees can be bent and your legs are going to be towards the front edge of the mat. Can your top hand come onto your top hip and just glide yourself away from the mat slightly so you've got a small gap underneath your lower waist. If it feels a bit pinchy in that bottom hip, you can always place a blanket or kind of jumper or something there for support. So you've got a 90-degree angle underneath those knees. Flex that top foot so you're thinking toes towards your face. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, can you lift that top leg up? And then we slowly start to lower it down. So we exhale, we lift. Inhale, we lower down. Okay, so top elbow stays shining up towards the ceiling. We're sat on an imaginary very stiff chair, so we're keeping that 90-degree bend underneath those knees. It's like a stiff wooden chair, and we can't move that back, forward and backwards, so keep that back really nice and straight. Flex through that top foot. We exhale as you lift. You inhale as you lower down. We're starting to come into those outer glutes. You can always place your hand there, just so you can start to feel them turn on as well. Exhale to lift. Inhale to glide back. Try to take the tension out through that top hand, through that chest, and through that jaw. So just roll out your jaw if you need. In 3, we're going to hold at the top point. 2, really nice control. Final 1, holding at that top point, freeze there, keep that foot flexed. Can you give me small pulses up and down? It's like you're pushing a band away. Imagine a band's wrapped around your knees, you're pushing it away. In 4, you hold. 3, 2, holding up at that top point, freeze there for 3, 2, 1, and we slowly draw down, tapping out through that top glutes. Okay, one more challenge here. You open that top leg out again, but I want your toes to kind of come on that diagonal angle. It's like you're in a frog press. Your knee is now slightly out. You're going to exhale, you kick long like a bit of a karate chop, and you inhale, you bend that knee in. You exhale to press, you inhale to glide in. As you glide that knee in, once you start to feel that crease of that hip kind of coming down onto your little finger, that's your cue, you come far enough, and then you glide all the way long. So you feel that crease of that hip on that little finger, and then you kick long. Use an inhale to draw in, and exhale to press. Really kick that leg out long, find that full extension. Let's go for 2 more. Keep lifted to that bottom waist. Final 1, keep that leg long, heel pushes away, really small pulses up and down. Keep that leg long, shoulders are down. Give me 4. In 3, we hold. 2, 1, holding that top point for 3, 2, 1, and bend that knee to come all the way in. Tap out through that glute. Hands come behind your head. Can your elbows come together? It's like you're closing a book. Keep your knees grounded. We slowly start opening that top elbow up, and it's like your chest shines towards the ceiling. You're looking towards that elbow, which is opening up to the side. Finding that twist of your spine. We then slowly draw those elbows in together like we're closing that book. We exhale, we shine forward. Your eye gaze follows that elbow as it opens up. You inhale, you glide all the way in. Let's do one more like this, really nice. You open all the way up. You hold there, you should feel it opening underneath your left ribs, looking towards that left elbow. And then slowly close it all the way down and through. Okay, from there, can you step your hands all the way down? And we're going to find your bird dog position. So you're going to find a 4-point kneeling position. From here, can you drop your belly, you lift your chest. You slowly scoop your belly, eye gaze comes towards your knees. So you drop your belly, you lift your chest. You scoop your belly, eye gaze comes towards your knees. Find that midpoint position there, and then we're going to hold. Okay, can we draw your left elbow, so your left hand, all the way up towards the ceiling, looking up towards that left hand. And then we're going to find a thread, the needle, you thread it all the way through and underneath, looking towards that bottom hand. You slowly unravel, reaching all the way up towards the ceiling. And then you drop your hand all the way through. It's like you're being pulled through that hand. You're finding that rotation through your ribs. Let's go for 2 more. Open up through your chest. Finding that space through your ribs. Final 1. Can you reach slightly higher? Thread that hand a little bit further through. Finding that pause. Slowly unravel. This is going to be the highest you've reached that top hand. And then you drop that hand all the way down and in front. Okay. That fingertips comes towards the front edge of the mat. That right leg goes all the way back. So we've worked that left leg. We're now working that right leg, and then we're going to switch over. So pushing that mat away with that right hand. Your left arm is long, your right leg is long. Start with them both down. If this feels too much on that stabilizing leg, you can roll over that mat. If it feels too much on your wrist, you can drop both of your elbows down and just do this with single leg. So you push the mat away with that right hand. Your left fingertips are long. Take a deep breath in to prepare. On the exhale, you lift your left arm up. You drop it down. We point those right toes. You lift that leg up. You tap it down. If we can, we lift your arm and we lift your leg at the same time, and then we drop down. So it's like they're framing that ear, they're coming up, that leg's coming up in line with your bum, and then you slowly come down. Imagine I'm pulling your knee the direction, so from that middle finger, all the way from that big toe, and then you turn. So it's an exhale as you lift, and inhale as you lower down. Shoulders stay down your back. In 3, we're going to hold. 2. Final 1, freeze there. Can you give me really small pulses up and down for 4, 3, 2, holding up on that next one for 3, 2, 1, drop that left hand down, bend that right knee, step that right foot all the way through. Okay, left hand comes down, you're in a low lunge position, your right hand reaches all the way up, finding that twist, finding that opening. Circle that arm back, around and down, right hand finds the floor, left hand reaches up. Similar to the thread the needle. Circle that arm all the way back, behind, and slowly come lifted onto the back leg. Have a little rock from forward and backwards. And then I want you to slowly turn onto those legs. So you're in kind of like I call this a ninja position. So I've got a long left leg. My right knee is bent and I'm on my tiptoes of that right leg. Fingertips are going to guide us. You're going to bring your hands to the center, in the center of those legs. You're slowly going to shift your weight. You're going to bend through your left knee, your right leg that comes long. So open up through both of your hip flexors and your inner thigh of that straight leg. We then walk those hands all the way along and we come all the way back. So we're going from side to side. Really nice. Let's go for 2 more. Really good, control. The next time you come over towards the left, hold there. You're going to bring those hands to the outer edge of your left foot, turn around and have a little rock forward and backwards. Drop those knees all the way down. Right hand comes down, left hand sweeps all the way up. Circle the arm back, around and down. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches up. Circle that arm all the way down and through. Hands find the mats. That left leg's going to sweep all the way back behind you. My right knee needs to come in for a little bit more support, and your right leg, so right hand's going to be long. Okay, eye gaze is forward. Keep your chest shining down, your hips shining down. We exhale, you lift that right hand up. You tap it down, you point those left toes. You lift that left leg up. You tap it down. Can you see if you can lift your arm and your leg? And then you slowly lower. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Eye gaze is towards the front edge of that mat. You lift and then you come down. So trying to keep that trunk, that center line really still as you lift and then you lower. Really nice energy through those fingertips, through the toes. For 2. Final 1, holding there, really small pulses up and down. In 5 we hold. 3, 2, holding up at that top, freeze there, really pointing those toes for 3, 2, 1, drop that hand, drop that knee. Can we find the thread, the needle? Your right hand's going to sweep all the way up. And then we thread it all the way through. Hand finds the mat. You're looking towards that hand as if we're really kind of wringing out through those ribs. You unravel, your right hand comes up towards the ceiling. And then your right hand comes all the way down and it comes through. Let's go for 2 more like this. Hand reaches up, it's like it's drawing back behind you. And then it threads all the way down. Final 1. Can you reach that hand slightly higher? Thread that hand slightly further through. And then hand comes down onto the mat. We're going to find that side lying position. So now we're going to be on that left side. Your knees are going to be bent. You're in that stiff chair. So we've got a 90-degree bend underneath your knees. You've got your back's really nice and shiny in one line. So keep those knees in front of those hips. You've got a gap underneath that bottom waist. Top hand is on your hip. And you're gliding that mat away. Flex that top foot. So you lift that leg up. You drop it down. Elbow stays shining up towards the ceiling as you lift. And then you lower. Try to stay relaxed as much as you can through that head, through that jaw, through that top hand. We exhale to lift. We inhale to lower all the way down. Really good. We lift. And then we lower. We're coming once again into those outer glutes. Really nice. They stabilize through your pelvis. They stabilize through your lower body. In 4, we're going to hold for those pulses. Keep that foot flexed, so toes towards your face. In 2, we hold. Final 1, freeze there. Can you give me really small pulses up and down? Let's go for 4. In 3, hold. 2. Holding at that top point, freeze there. For 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Tap out that glute if you need. Your top hand, so your top leg now opens up. We're in that frog position. So your knees on that diagonal angle, foot stays flexed. Can you karate chop your leg long and then you bend it all the way in? It's an exhale as you kick. An inhale as you draw it all the way back and through. We glide it out. We glide it all the way in. Really good control. Let's go for 4 more. Keep that gap underneath your lower waist. Top elbow stays shining up towards the ceiling. In 2, hold. Final 1, freeze there. Flex that foot. Really small pulses up and down. We're here for 4, 3, 2. Holding up on that next one for 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee. Really nice. Tap out through that top glute. Hands come behind your head and your elbows glide in towards each other. Okay, we're going to find that book open. So it's like you've started with those elbows together. Keep your knees really glued together as you open all the way up through your chest. Eye gaze looks back towards that top elbow. And then you slowly glide your elbows back all the way in. We exhale, you rise, you open your chest towards the ceiling. Find that opening through your right kind of back of your ribs. And then you close all the way down. Final 1. You open all the way out. Find that moment of pause. And then slowly glide it all the way in. We're now going to roll all the way onto our backs to finish for a bit of a stretch. So can we draw your right knee in towards your chest? Really big hug. Left leg goes long. Can we really hug it in so much so that your nose now comes towards your knee? Your left leg is hovered. Then we switch over towards the other side. And I really want you to draw your knee towards your nose towards your knee. And then we switch. Finding that opening through those hips. And then we switch. Let's go for 2 more. Final 1. Finish with that right knee in, tap that left leg down. Slowly drop your head. Can you draw circles of that knee? So it's like you're really drawing circles. Your knee is kind of compressing into that hip joint. And then start reversing the direction of those circles. Left hand stays onto that right knee. Fold that knee all the way across the body. Right hand is out long and you look over towards that right hand. Finding a bit of a hip opener. You slowly glide that right knee in. Your left knee comes to meet it. Right leg is out long. Interlace through your So interlaced hands underneath that left knee, and you're pushing down through into that hip joint, drawing those circles. And then start reversing the direction of these circles. Find that stillness, right hand towards your left knee. Cross that knee over your body, left hand is out, looking over towards that left hand. Slowly come all the way back into center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a rock from side to side. Slowly crossing those ankles, hands come down. You're going to push yourself up, and we're going to finish in a seated position, whatever a comfortable seated position feels like for you. Where we started is where we're going to end. We're going to circle those arms out, around and up. You interlace those hands. Big reach up and reach over to one side, open through your ribs, open through your side body. We come back to center, reach up and over towards the opposite side. Coming back to center, looking up towards those hands, circle those arms out, around and down, shoulders roll back, shoulders roll forward. Give yourselves a massive smile. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I really hope you enjoyed that class.